All right. So everybody can do that. We do have recording on, so I'll warn everybody about that. For who our new panelists are, we should probably do that on a regular basis. My name is Bill Dodson. I work with Rocker, and I am your host of the webinar today. We have three people from Commerce Lexington who've come on to join us. A couple logistic items. If you do have questions, feel free to answer or to ask them through the Q&A session at the bottom. It's a little green button you can click and ask your question there, and we'll answer that one either live, or if it's a private one, we'll write it back to you. With that being said, Liz is not here today, so we're going to turn it over to Kelly to introduce everyone, and then we are going to do a little bit of screen sharing. And as usual, at the end of this, there will be a survey that we'd love for you to fill out. And then the recording of today's video will be available later on tonight or tomorrow morning, and you'll get a link to it in the thank you email. With that being said, Kelly, it's all yours.
Okay, thanks, Bill. So as Bill said, I'm Kelly Bates. I'm a member engagement manager here at Commerce Lexington. I've been here for about 13 years. And today's event, we just kind of felt like it might be a good time to touch base with our membership on making sure that they're utilizing their membership right now, especially during these crazy times that we're in. And this event, 4 o'clock focus, was actually an event that we introduced kind of right when the coronavirus started affecting businesses, as a way for us to kind of help our businesses as they're navigating the reopening of the economy. Our webinars have been a variety of topics, best practices and lessons learned, and presented by local business and community leaders. So Bill is one of the moderators, and it's really just a way for us to get our members some education, some support, and ways to communicate with those experts that can help them. So having said that, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Definitely put your questions in the comments. We would love to be interactive here and answer your questions. I'm going to turn it over to Kristin Taylor, one of our business development managers, and she's going to talk to you about the exposure.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to this event today and just taking time to learn more about how you can really get the most out of your membership. Kelly is going to be sharing the screen, so as I'm talking about some of this stuff, she will be able to show you where you can locate these things on our website. One of the things that some people don't know, I'm sure you know you have a business directory listing as part of your membership, but I didn't know if you knew that it is search engine optimized, which means we are showing up sometimes even before people's websites. If people type in restaurants Lexington, Kentucky, you know, that chamber page with restaurants on it may come up before even, you know, their own personal websites. We also have social media links that can be attached to that directory listing. So that's something that's really important to make sure that if you have Facebook and Instagram, or we actually have about 20 different social media sites that you can link to your business directory site. And what that's going to do is increase the traffic to those pages. And also, as far as your listing, you can be in multiple categories. As long as you fall into that category, that can be another way to increase your search engine optimization, is to be in more categories on the directory. We also have social media pages that are a great way to get exposure for your business. So we have a Facebook group page that has over 4,000 members and non-members on it. And that is a local targeted audience. It's a great way to reach Lexington. Plus, you're going to get organic visibility, meaning without having to pay for the extra boosted advertising. You're going to get that organic visibility by posting in the group, because it notifies people when a new post is made in the group. So that's a really great way to get some exposure there. We also have our Instagram page, which I manage. And on our Instagram page, we have about 2,100 followers on there. So if you're ever interested in getting a post on our Instagram page, please contact me. And if I will put that in the chat box after this, my email address, so that you can send that information to me. Now, if you want to share the website, Kelly, for everyone, so I can show them some other great ways to get exposure for their business.
I've got a question for you. I know for our listing, we can delegate access to other people. So if I weren't the person managing all the social media or the links or things like that, I could create an account for John or Jane Doe, for example, who works with me, and they then could go add those links in, right? Because a lot of our attendees are not the people that manage their marketing. I can see by our list. So, so I thought that they may want to know that they can spread the love, if you will, and the access authority.
Yeah, they can share their member login with the person that handles their social media. We have a lot of people that do that. So, and I'm also happy to talk with anybody that handles your marketing to show them, you know, how they can market themselves on our social media. Kelly, are you going to post to share the website?
I'm on the website.
I mean, did you share your screen? I'm sorry, I did not see it on here.
Oh, did I not share it?
There we go.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was like, maybe that's a me error. So one of the things that we're talking about first is the member news section. And you will find this on our Connect section, or right there, which is an easier way to get to it. On that first thing, this is where if you have any information about job changes or press releases or new locations, this is a great way to get some exposure for your business. You can actually just send that to Mark Turner at Commerce Lexington, and he would be glad to get that on our member news section, or whoever your account manager is can also forward that information along. We, of course, have the job bank as well, which is free for our members, but it's also a great way to get exposure. So here you can post your jobs for free as an employer and member of our chamber. A lot of people know that we also have a calendar of events, but don't know that we also share other members' events. So we have a community calendar that you can share all of your events too. So if you want to show them that community calendar section, there might not be very much on it right now where things have slowed down due to COVID, but a lot of people are doing like us as well. And even if you're having virtual events, you know, that's a great place to share those and get exposure for those events as well.
And then like when you, when this comes up, when you click on the specific event, it'll give you all the information about it.
Mm-hmm. And you can register for that. Well, that's our Commerce Lexington events. Can you show them the community calendar?
I did. Now this is Commerce Lexington's.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought that was that. Didn't see it. We also have a place if you are giving trainings and doing virtual events, and you might be interested in being a speaker. And so we have a speaker link as well that members can post on to offer their services and get exposure for that.
Hold on.
There we go. So you can learn more through that on the business and then resources and then speaker link. Or if you just type Commerce Lexington speaker link into Google, it'll also come up so that you can find it easy.
I can say, Kristen, as a, I don't know how many times I've spoken over the course of the last 10 to 15 years, but it was actually great exposure for the business and a really good way to connect with other people who are also members that I didn't know before. So I know we're not getting together in the same space right now, but I will say it's a great spot to be in to talk about the topics that you care about or that you want to network with some other members on.
Yeah, I think just being a thought leader is definitely something that's going to help to promote your business because people see you as someone that they can turn to as a resource, and then they're going to want to connect with you and use your products and services. So I'm going to also turn it over to Kelly now, who's going to talk more about our advertising and sponsorship opportunities, which she works a lot with as our membership engagement person. So thank you.
So a lot of, I'm sorry, I just got, okay. A great way for member businesses to get their company name in front of the business community is through sponsorships with Commerce Lexington, whether it's through our events, our publications, or our website. So a lot of members like the value of being identified with the chamber and view their sponsorship as kind of a win-win. It gives them increased exposure, and then it supports Commerce Lexington to enable us to have those publications as resources and to have those events for members to attend and network and learn. We have found we have a couple of main ways that we communicate on a regular basis with our members. Our monthly business focus publication, which comes out every month. It's got about 5,500 people that we mail that to. It is also available to pick up, and then it is also posted on our website and previous issues as well. That, and then our weekly e-newsletter that we send out to anyone that is on the list to receive that. Right now, I think that's at about 3,800. Those are the two really good ways to receive our communications, know about upcoming member programs, and things like that. So like, for instance, those would be sponsorship opportunities. Like if you wanted to reach the business community with a printed ad in the business focus or a banner ad in that weekly e-news, those would be really targeted ways to get your message out. We do a lot of events. Right now, most of them are virtual, but when we get back to normal, we'll also have a lot of in-person events like we normally do. And all of our events, whether it's in-person or virtual, are sponsorship opportunities. So if there's a particular event that speaks to you, or you feel like that you is important to you with your business, that might be an opportunity for you to come on as some type of sponsor. We have all levels from presenting on down to small business sponsors, and it's ways for you to get some extra exposure and market your business. So that would be something that we normally, when someone first joins the chamber, we don't go way into that because we want you to kind of get acclimated and know about your benefits. And but then as you look to your marketing, that would be kind of a next step, is kind of look at the sponsorship opportunities with the chamber. And any of us can help you with that, Kristi, Kristen, or myself. We work with our members on their marketing plans. And I'm gonna send it over to myself. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about branding and marketing your business. So some specific things for that would be, like, I'm just going to mention a few like particular events. So like this event, this 4 o'clock focus would be an event you could attend that's hopefully going to help you in some way as far as knowing about your business. Another one would be our at 3:30. We do that every other month. It's virtual right now. It was an in-person event before that. And basically, oh, I lost my connection. Oh, there you go. Basically, it's a professional development event, and we use our members as the presenters. So it's a member-led presentation, and it would be relevant to business owners, business professionals, and entrepreneurs. Some of our past topics have been things like marketing, social media, personal development, health and wellness, sales, networking, kind of those things that no matter what your business is, most likely you could take away something from it to help you. And it's also an interactive event. The speaker always, takes questions and things like that. So that's a real successful event. We've had a lot of small businesses that really enjoy that event. Another one might be join a business owner's advisory board. And what those are, they are a no-cost solution for a business owner who wants advice or guidance as a business owner that perhaps doesn't have like a big board of directors with their business. Our groups meet monthly. Right now we're doing those virtually. And basically the groups offer encouragement, business advice for tackling day-to-day challenges. The meetings are structured to include speakers on various business topics, guidance, marketing planning. It's not designed as a networking or a leads group. It's more of a sounding board and just to use each other's, it's non-competitors in the group. So it's to take advantage of each other's expertise in whatever particular business that they're in to help each other. The groups are typically, I think, made up of about 8 owners with similar concerns but are not in direct competition with each other. So you wouldn't have someone that does the exact same thing you do. And we are actually going to have, we've got one of those coming up on Thursday, September the 24th at 11 o'clock. So if you are a small business owner, you do have to be an actual small business owner. If you are, that would be an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the program, talk to some of the people that participate in it. We only allow people into those groups twice a year. Our goal is to keep those groups consistent. And so that would definitely be a great event to consider if you're a small business owner. And like I said, it'll be coming up on September the 24th, which we will have that's on our calendar, and you would always know about that through the Business Focus and the weekly e-newsletter as well. And then I'm going to turn it over to Kristi, and she's going to talk about some of our virtual events that are going on right now that have kind of been born out of this COVID-19.
Thanks, Kelly. I'm Kristi Woodrum. I am also a business development manager at Commerce Lexington. And we do have a couple events that we help try to network our businesses. Right now we have started a new event, and it is called our Morning Mixer. The Morning Mixer is basically for just straight networking. We have had a couple of these so far, and we just have businesses get on here. We want them to tell a little bit about their business and kind of what they're trying to get out of these calls right now, especially during COVID. Is there anything in particular we can help you with and help you overcome during COVID? And it's just been such a tough time for everybody. And also just to help them connect with each other, just to feel like that they're still getting something right now, even if it is virtually, because I know we miss those events like the business links and the new member luncheons and those events that we've had in person in the past. I know it's not the same, but we're trying to do what we can to connect people as much as possible right now. Another event that we also, we started last year, it was called our Net 90. And our Net 90 is just a networking event for business professionals where everyone sits at different tables. We'll have a moderator at the tables. That person will keep track of time and allow everyone at that table to go through and do their 90-second pitch. Once that 90-second pitch is over, then they'll switch tables. Once everyone is done with that, they'll switch tables. They will make sure they get to all the tables. So it's fast-paced. You're making a lot of connections in under 2 hours. But it was a great event, and people received a lot of referrals and a lot of connections, and it just seemed to be very successful. So we'll be holding another one of those very soon. So please check our community calendar for both of those events. A Morning Mixer will be coming up again in September. And Kristen, do you want to discuss Facebook and LinkedIn? And
Yeah. So another way that you can connect virtually is by being engaged on our Facebook and Instagram, which we talked about briefly earlier. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but you can share directly from your business page to the group page. But another great way to connect with other businesses is to comment on other people's posts, as well as just, that's a great area to find prospects as well. Like if you are interested in being able to partner with a business, then it's good to connect with them through Facebook, or we also have a LinkedIn group that has, I want to say, about 3,000 on it. And that's LinkedIn is a really good place to find the decision makers of businesses on there, especially if they're involved in Commerce Lexington. That's going to be a great source of connections, as well as if you see that one of the people from your account manager or someone else in Commerce Lexington knows somebody, then you could ask for an introduction to someone is another great way to engage in there. We also have a new program that we started this year, which was a part-time but it's been going successful and we've taken it virtual. It's called Emerging Leaders of the Bluegrass. And we have a pass holders group, and it's in addition to your membership, but it's very affordable. It's only $75 for members and $100 for non-members to be a part of the Emerging Leaders of the Bluegrass. And with that, we got 8 events. We've had ones on voting rights. We just had a panelist of community leaders talk about getting on a board. We're going to be having another event coming up soon on food culture. And so it's a very exciting group. And I think Kelly might be showing you where you can find more information out about that program. So that's a definite other way that you can get involved virtually. And we've been having an event about, I want to say, every month to every other month for that group. So if you have any questions, then she's showing you all that different stuff, but I'm happy to answer any too. All right.
I've got a question about
the
basically the marketing trends. What mechanism, if I wanted to reach out to others, whether it was participation with peers, but if I did want to promote my business as a member, are there any particular industries that do better at, say, web events versus live events, or the printed items or social media? I'm curious about, if you were going to recommend the top 3 that people need to look at in terms of sponsorship opportunities across there, are there any particular industries that do better in one area versus another?
I would say with that question, it really is best for us to work with each business individually, because it really isn't specific industry. It's just what each business is looking to get out of their membership. And even though they might be in the same industry, one might be looking for something different than another one. So honestly, we try to work with each business individually that does want to sponsor or advertise, and get that exposure out there of what's going to be the right fit for them, so that they're paying for the sponsorship that's going to work best for them, not something that's not going to work, because we don't want them paying for something unless it's the right thing. So it is really kind of specific.
Plan's great. I think that's even better than I would have expected. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's definitely, because we have a lot of different opportunities, but it really depends on the business. Like, do they want to be a sponsor where they're going to be involved? Are they looking to just do branding, just to get their name out there? So yeah, like Kristi said, it really is beneficial to sit down and kind of go through what they're wanting to get out of it and how involved they're going to be with it, as to what we would recommend where they put those marketing dollars, whether it's like event sponsorship, publication, website,
Okay.
Online, print, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Before I turn it over to Kristi, I was going to take a second to answer one of the questions that we've had in our chat box. And it was, how do the educational institutions, UK Transy, Midway, interact with Commerce Lexington? And one of the ways is we do have our Guide to the Bluegrass, which the educational institutions are included in. It's also a great place to advertise different schools in there, just because that is something that a lot of realtors use to when they have clients that are relocating to our area, as well as, it goes out to every member. There's 7,000 produced annually for that. We also, in normal times have our business links, which I've seen different schools set up one of our vendor booths at that business link. And we also have, people that interact through promoting it on our social media, like I said before. I hope that answers the question. And Kristi is going to talk now, I believe, about some savings that you can have.
Sure. So we want to make sure you all are aware that we do offer member discounts. That is a huge benefit to being a member of the chamber. Right now, we have a little over 40 businesses that are offering discounts to other members. Kelly is pulling that up right here. So you can see if you click on find discounts here, it'll pull a list of what everyone is offering right now. And I know we have IT services, payroll, we have advertising specialties. I know Print Lex. So there's lots of different discounts for you to take advantage of by being a member of the chamber. So please check that out if you have not already, because there could be something in there that you might utilize that you're not aware of. In addition to that list, one of our partners is Humana. So we have a partnership with Humana Health Insurance right now, and members can qualify, see if they qualify to take advantage of savings on their health insurance for their companies. The requirement is a minimum of 2 employees on payroll, and then I can connect you or Kelly or Kristen to an agent. We have a list of agents, and they are on our website as well. And you can follow up with that agent if you don't already have one to see if you qualify for this program. We have members on average that save 20%, but we have also had members that can save up to 30 and 40%. It does depend on the business. So that's a great benefit to also being a member. And then our other partnership is with Office Depot Office Max. So when you joined, you should have received a card from Office Depot Office Max and a link to a specific website that is preferred pricing for our members. That will allow you to get anywhere from 5 to about 50% off of certain items in the store. So pens and staples, and all kinds of office supplies. And then if you need copies made, you can save a fortune on getting copies made. So that's a huge discount that people don't even think about, that you can go and get copies made instead of using your printer. So that's a great way to also save money. If you all did not get a copy of that when you joined, or if there has been turnover or anything like that, just let us know and we'll make sure, reach out to Kristen or Kelly or myself, and we'll be happy to get you a new copy of that, because we want to make sure you're taking advantage of all the discounts that are available. And as a member, if any of you are not currently taking advantage of that and offering discounts, but you would like to offer discounts to other members, reach out to us on that too, and we'll be happy to help you get that set up so that you can do that for others. So that's it. Any questions on that, let us know.
I think I have a list of some things I need to do now. I didn't expect that for today's meeting, but now I'm like, well, I have to come up with, I've written a couple things down here, taking some notes. What might be what would be a kind of a hidden benefit? You know, we've looked at the website and you all have a ton of things on there, but I'm sure there are probably some things that you all help businesses with, whether it's a small business, a medium-sized business, a large one, basically just members. If they don't know where to go for something, is that when when I should reach out to my rep and say, hey, I'm calling about this and I really don't know where to go for it. Maybe they didn't look on your website, but let's say it's not on your website. What are some of those items? Because I think I know you all are doing some things behind the scenes to help people out, because I think you work a bunch to do that.
I would say we are always working behind the scenes. So whether a member, we're really not. Events kind of like are icing on the cake. They're great networking opportunities and educational, but behind the scenes, we're always working for businesses. So like, for instance, we have a public policy person on staff. So if a business had any type of issue, whether it was at the local level, the state level, the federal level, any type of issue affecting their business, they could call, and as a member, we could connect them with Andy Johnson, who is our public policy person. And she could, which she actually encourages members to do, because it helps her to represent businesses if she has very specific situations. So like where a small business even may not know how to contact a their senator or their congressman or can't get through, or even our local city government. Sometimes it can be, kind of difficult to do that. Andy is kind of that person for all of our members. They can call her and connect with her. She can connect them to someone. We've had members that that's the only, they renew every year because of one thing that we helped them with that saved them millions of dollars. I mean, it's just a really good benefit that I don't think a lot of people think of necessarily. The other one, you all can chime in here if you want. The only other one I was thinking right off the bat was we have someone that does research. So a lot of our businesses, you can totally utilize that person if you need any type of demographics or statistics, or, I mean, we've had everything from how many horses are in Fayette County to, I mean, she gets crazy questions too. How many people go down a specific street between 10 and 2, but we do a lot of information like that is available to our members. And I think that's something that if you didn't know, you wouldn't necessarily think to go to the chamber for that. Those are a couple I know of. Kristi or Kristen, do y'all have anything you can think of that would be another kind of, oh, I didn't know that?
Well, we also have an economic development department, and they help existing businesses expand. So if you are, and also recruit new businesses to Lexington, but if you're looking to expand your business, that's something that you could talk to them about. They also have a list of commercial real estate properties of, is it 10,000 square feet or larger, Kelly, I think is the minimum. So they have a list of those properties as well. And then also all of us individual kind of take on a bunch of different roles. Like I know I've helped members locate a number for the person that they needed to contact for one of the stimulus packages during this thing, or figuring out who needs to be called to get a bus stop in front of their business. Like I think all of us are willing to go above and beyond as far as trying to be a resource for our members and get them connected. And did you have something else you wanted to say, Kelly? You looked like you thought of something.
No.
Well, I think those are great. I mean, that research piece, that alone, I don't know if there's any information on the website about that, but, I have to sort of help my clients steer where they're going to spend their money in technology. But in another lifetime ago, I did it on the marketing. So like how many people pass by a particular road on any given day. You can ask that of an advertising company or an ad agency, which would be just fine. But if I want to get an absolutely unbiased answer, because you're not selling that billboard, for example, or that marketing space, I think that's amazing. I would tell more people about that if you've got that research that you can offer. That's a great one.
I also thought about, we also have a minority business development director, Tyra, and he helps businesses that are female or minority owned. And we have an access loan program that if you know of anybody that's looking to start a business that falls in those categories, that access loan program allows them to get in front of 30 different lenders at one time, making it easier for them to find that funding that they're looking for. And they walk you through the whole process. Like he connects you with the Small Business Development Center, who can help write business plans and things like that. And people don't know that, that's a service that we have as well.
So what are chambers? And I'm just curious about this in general. We've got just about 10 minutes left. I'm curious, what are you seeing some chambers do in terms of emerging member benefits that you all may be considering? And I'm not going to say, hey, let's hold you to it or anything like that, but it is a strange time. We started this webinar. We've done this now for months. Are there other things like this that you think might become permanent, or a different sort of set of offerings, discounts, benefits, et cetera, that might be coming for chamber members across the United States?
Well, I know that what we've discovered, and most chambers that I've talked to have discovered, I do think there will always be some virtual programming that didn't really exist before this. Mm-hmm. We are finding some of our members just can't get away from their business. So like, say we didn't typically have a lot of restaurant owners that would come to an in-person event because they're busy running their restaurant, but they maybe could step into the office and get on an event that's virtual for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So I do think the virtual programming, we are already planning ahead to always have some of that moving forward. And I think most of the other chambers are as well. And really just be the connection point. Like, I think a lot of our members throughout this didn't realize all the resources that are there with their chamber membership. And this kind of forced people to look, because everyone wanted to connect and get information. And they were able to do that with a lot of the resources that we were putting out there. And I think so that's made us realize, you know, just how important that is for us to keep really up-to-date resources.
And to piggyback on what Kelly said, we are talking about 2021 and moving forward currently and trying to put a game plan together. And I think the possibility of on virtual events could become like a hybrid where we'll do people that can attend virtually to certain events, to be able to do both of those, continuing that in the future, just to help people that otherwise may not have been able to get involved as much as they can. It's amazing what we've been learning through COVID, the things that we're capable of doing online, but yet you don't want to overwhelm everyone with, you know, a ton of Zoom meetings, but it's just nice to have that flexibility now, that things that we would have never thought of before this. So, I mean, not that it's a great situation to be in, but we have learned a lot of positive things about it moving forward.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think we work with a number of associations, and I think the amount of people who are conducting virtual events, not only inside an organization, but also across organizations that are associations like, Commerce Lexington, I don't think that's going to go away anymore. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how things are, how they will change over the course of the next few years and give people those options. Lots of tech companies have done kind of a hybrid model in the last few years, obviously not because of COVID, but they did a model where you could pay to attend online, or you could, pay a different fee and get there, because a lot of the benefit in this is networking with other people, peers, experts in your industry. And so if we could sort of quote unquote get back to normal, I think that the changes that we'll see, and now we know what's available, will really give people options. Because I agree with you, a restaurant owner, that would be tough to show up. If you've got to run a restaurant, you just can't get out. So having that as an option, and you all being able to sort of center that and make it in one spot where someone can pay attention, it's a great thing.
And like one example might be one of our larger events that we do annually is our Salute to Small Business Luncheon, which is a culmination of businesses can be nominated, and we have certain small business awards that we give out every year. And that's a pretty large luncheon. Usually we have over 400 attendees, and it's that one day. Well, obviously we can't gather, that's coming up later this month, we can't gather 400 plus people right now for a luncheon. So we all kind of brainstormed, and what came out of that was a week-long celebration to recognize our small businesses. And I shared it on the screen. And so we have a whole week planned to spotlight and recognize our businesses. And we're actually really excited because we feel like we're going to be able to really kind of do so much more throughout this week virtually. Not that we won't go back to having a luncheon, but that was just the one day, one event luncheon. This, we're going to do a lot of stuff throughout the whole week. And we feel like with virtually, lots of people may tune in and be part of it that maybe wouldn't have been able to do it before. So that's one example. I feel like we're going to make our Sleep Small Business, I feel like even a much better event for a lot more businesses. So we're real excited about that. But just I think all the chambers have been doing that. They're just kind of taking their events and they're saying, okay, what would work virtually? How can we still stay connected to our members? How can we still give them resources? How can we still connect them with one another like the morning mixer that Kristi talked about. That wasn't even an event before this happened, but it was like, okay, how do we let these people network? People still want to see somebody's face and introduce themselves and tell them, you know, what a referral looks like to them. And so that event was born, and we will probably keep that type of event. So I think that's what chambers have been just really pivoting and looking at all of their different programs, you know, what makes sense that you can continue virtually, or things that have come out of it, you know, like that. So I think we're just like, you know, all the other chambers just trying to, or all the other businesses just trying to change their model, you know, for our situation right now. But I do think there'll be things on the other side of this that will remain and be really beneficial.
Yeah, I think that one's a prime for a promo video. I don't know if you all did video, you know, if you recorded it, but that would be an interesting one to see the promo video for, you know, obviously you wouldn't want to do it where you're, you know, where you're having anyone share any private information, but I was curious because I couldn't attend that one and I wanted to. So if you all put a promo video together, please let me know. I'd love to take a look at it and share it with other people who I think want that very same thing you're talking about.
We're going to start having those regularly, so pay attention.
We have another good question in the Q&A, and so I'll just read it. Thank you, Morgan, for sending this question. She just said, I've seen the ROI data from a friend's business, a catering company, who belongs to the Chamber of Commerce as it pertains to leads. How are those traced back to the Chamber of Commerce? In other words, what is the lead tracking mechanism you have in place? So I'm glad she also brought this up, because that's another good reason to have run your social media links attached to your business directory listing. But also it's important to have the correct information up there, especially since during this time your mailing address or physical address or phone number or email may be different. And so it's really important that you have that up-to-date information so that people can actually get a hold of you if they need to. And then you can also get analytics from that. If you go to your member login, you can actually pull up analytics to see how many times all of those things are being clicked on. So they do it based on several different things. They have it based on how many times your industry page is pulled up. So for example, if you were under like health and wellness, that broad category, there would be an analytics for that. And then it would narrow it down even further, and it would be how many times your specific categories. Say if it was a Pilates studio, then it would go from health and wellness to a smaller thing of Pilates studio. And you could see how many times those different things were pulled up. Then it's going to also analyze how many times your website's been clicked on, how many times you've been emailed, how many times each of your individual social media are clicked on. So you can see, you know, how many people are finding your Facebook page through your chamber website, chamber listing. So I hope that answers your question. If you think I need to expand further on that, I can, but.
I think that's great info. As you know, we used to do digital marketing. The other thing that I think is kind of important, any of the members need to understand that a marketing effort like that needs to be coordinated with you, so that if they are taking out any particular sponsorships or ads or things like that, to coordinate with whoever the account rep might be or whoever's putting that out there, so that they're able to track the response as well, because it's not just someone at the chamber who's going to have to do some work. It's that the chamber and then the member on their website or their tracking URLs or their Google Analytics, where you want to get them eventually from the Commerce Lexington site over to their own site or their email or their lead form, whatever it may be. We are just a minute over. I know we have another event coming up on the 23rd that, Kelly, would you like to mention that one before we sign off?
Are we talking about the Business Owners Advisory Board Enrollment Group?
No, I got an email coming up about our small business awards item that we
yeah, the one that I showed on the thing about the small business.
Yes, because we'll meet again in 2 weeks, and so we're going to do that. But you may want to mention just kind of a highlight of what we'll talk about, unless.
Oh yes. So the next 4 o'clock focus is
Yeah.
going to fit into our Small Business Week. So that will be, what is that, September 23rd, did you say?
Mhm.
So yes, that'll be a great event to attend that has to do with our whole celebration week.
Yeah, so in just a few minutes, what you'll see is we'll wrap up here, and then you'll see a little link with a QR code you can scan with your phone, and you can give us feedback on today, which would be wonderful. We'd love to have that. The other piece is thank you all very much for attending today and teaching not only me as a member, but everybody else who attended what we can get as a part of our membership with Commerce Lex. The recording will be online in just a few hours. Any parting comments, ladies?
I would just say, just to kind of sum it up, among everything we do as an organization, because there's a lot, as we touched on just a few things today, Commerce Lexington is an advocate for your business, always. We're working behind the scenes, working with you, and whether we're providing networking or marketing opportunities, discounts, guidance, leadership, professional development, representing you at all levels of government, we're here to help. So whatever it is that affects your business, please let us know. We have a staff that's here to connect with you in whatever way, and whichever staff person can best assist you. But we are here to help you in your business.
All right. Well, thank you all for being the panelists today. Hope everyone has a great evening, and look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great night.